Founder and CEO of Partner Optimizer, probably one of the biggest partner data geeks you'll ever meet. And this show is a forum for conversations around the adoption and impact of partner data, partner insights, and partner intelligence in the B2B tech sector specifically. Each episode is going to feature someone who's ahead of the curve and doing that successfully. So welcome to this episode, and it's appropriately entitled Marketplace Mirage. Today, we're going to dive into the essential role of intelligent partner discovery in successfully implementing your hyperscaler marketplace co-sell strategy. That's long-winded, but those of you who are here, you know what that means. And who better to discuss this topic than our guest, Karen Fazio, who's a true B2B tech powerhouse in marketing, who's played a pivotal role in Microsoft Azure Marketplace's co-selling evolution. Welcome, Karen. It's so great to have you.
Thank you. Thanks so much. I'm excited to be here.
Me too. Well, before we dive in, I need to tell the audience a little bit more about you because you're incredible. And Karen has over 2 decades of experience at Microsoft, even though you don't look like you could be working there that long. And I think your last position was Director of Global Digital Growth Acceleration for Azure Marketplace, right?
Correct. Yeah. Did a lot of work in trying to figure out how do we create growth strategies in among a sea of ecosystem partners. So data intelligence absolutely was a secret sauce to how we did that.
Exactly. And to not play you down, I want to make sure you have expertise leading teams in channel go-to-market strategy, program development, product and program marketing, digital experience, customer journeys, MarTech, automations, operations, campaign and content strategy, and community building, right? So
Yep.
you
All
are,
that.
yeah, hence the word powerhouse, because somehow and you're the real deal. So I am so excited that you're here. Another thing that's cool about Karen, which is really how we met, is that she's the co-founder and strategic advisor of Women in Cloud, which is an incredible organization that's creating opportunities for women in technology. And that's where I had the privilege of meeting her, because I was in the Women in Cloud Female SaaS Tech Entrepreneur Accelerator a few years back and had the chance to have Karen as a mentor. And so, Karen, now you're the principal of Abundant Marketing Collective, and that's a consulting practice that's supporting technology companies with go-to-market, community engagement, and channel strategies, right?
That's right. Correct. Yep.
Awesome.
A lot of
And
lot of fun sort of taking the knowledge that I've had at Microsoft and certainly the work we've done in Women in Cloud. You are absolutely a success story, Dina, and so much more ahead for you. And also, just trying to package that up in my own practice of how I can take that insight and bring it to more partners.
yep, yep. No, it's great. And I bet you don't realize how much you've actually experienced and accomplished until at a point in time like this, where now you're bringing it to more clients and customers and companies outside of the Microsoft environment, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, so, and also a nice little mention that Karen and I are also fellow members of Partnership Leaders. So it's been fun to be part of that community, which is growing and promoting partnership careers and strategies as well. So, Karen, welcome, and let's dive in and talk to us about the typical hyperscaler marketplace journey.
Yeah, what I love the description of this topic, because it is intended to sort of be a little bit more thought provoking because there is so much emphasis on marketplace. But my background is definitely Microsoft, but you can sort of see that across all of the hyperscalers, and then all of the other ecosystem partners are really sort of turning an eye to this new channel of opportunity and how to look at it, how to think about it, how to play in it. What's the significance of this going to be over time, because we are still in very early days. And I think for those of us that have been watching this, I've certainly been a part of the transition of the importance of this, that it's still very fragmented, but that's not going to be the case forever. There are all kinds of new offerings and new capabilities that are being built into the platforms, that are being augmented through all kinds of new experiences that our ecosystem is certainly being a part of transforming. So it's a good time to as partner leaders to look at this very strategically. And so, when if we were to take a look at this as, maybe a simplified way of in phases of how to think about it for yourself. um, Many of us are sort of starting what I would consider in phase two. And that is, there's been a lot of sort of uh, hype and pressure. I mean, I'll say pressure to look at marketplace, from hyperscalers, and there's been, a lot of activity to get things listed. Maybe a customer, because their field rep is telling them, their account team is telling them, I need this to be transacted through a marketplace somehow. And so you as a partner is trying to figure out how can you fulfill that for your customer. So you're just doing the things that you need to do to sort of get in to even be a player. Um, and there is a lot of potential there. There is a reason to invest there. In some cases, I think people may be kind of just a little bit ahead because they've gotten themselves listed there, but they don't know exactly why or how is this going to give me customer opportunity. So you've done the work to figure out how to redo your solution, how to get yourself listed by the configuration of that particular platform provider, how to understand the rules of engagement there. How are you going to get incentives and investments that are coming from a tool like that. But what typically happens is you find that, okay, you're listed, but there isn't a whole lot there to actually attract a customer to you. There's still all of this other stuff that has to surround this listing that you've invested in. Um, and also the main thing that, the real promise of this marketplace is that you're going to be able to work across many other customers and partners to actually share a selling opportunity with, or a go to market opportunity with. And so as you start looking at, okay, these marketplaces, they've got me listed, but I don't really know how to move it. I don't know how to sort of move my listing into a way that more customers will see it. And that, even my own customers are going to be able to sort of understand why I'm even listed here. Why do I need to start transacting this way? So this is where the I think the mirage effect starts coming in, using that name, because there's so many other things you've got to do ahead of this in order to really make that marketplace um, commitment move. And this is where I think it goes back to the step one, which is designing and understanding your cloud GTM strategy holistically. I think what people will find is that, oh wow, okay, I've got this marketplace thing I've invested in, but now I need to figure out what is my actual offer, because I need to now design this in a way so that I can get it to the customers that I need and also attract other partnerships to be able to sell through marketplace and design the right offering for in the first place. So now there's this, I think, a little bit of a step back, maybe even get up to the balcony, so that you can see, you can sort of derive the right go to market, the right solution, the right type of listing that you need in the marketplace in the first place in order for this engine to really work to your advantage. And this is where I think Partner Optimizer comes in very, very well, because there are these additional insights that you need to sort of surround yourself with so that you know the right partnerships, the right sort of offerings to build in the first place that can make this marketplace motion really work to your advantage and start paying you back those dividends. So the kinds of things that the partner optimizer solution provides are things that are going to help ensure that you're not wasting precious time, trying to sort of pick and peck and try to feel out who are the right partnerships to work with, and maybe test and try, too many times, that kind of end in dead ends. I think that that's been a model that we've had in the past that we no longer need to operate in. we can actually operate from a place of high intelligence and precision about how we go to market and how we collect the partnerships that we want to work with in order for us to have the strongest success. And so the kinds of things that Partner Optimizer enables is not just the sort of things that you can see from what what a hyperscaler is presenting to you, which is what you see in the marketplaces. It
Mhm.
includes things like are how well are they actually activated in the solutions that you're offering? How well are they actually demonstrating expertise in the things that are important to you as you're doing a co-sell, a collaborative opportunity with the customer. So then you can actually get in and design your recruitment strategies for partnerships and your activations that you do within your partnerships with a lot more clarity upfront about who to work with for what, and enable a marketplace offering that is specific to that scenario. So it really is sort of the power of data, the power of the tool sets, the power of how you activate that marketplace motion that Partner Optimizer can really tool you to have a far more precise way of going to market.
Yeah. And so, Karen, marketplace and the setup and putting those appropriate listings in, I agree that that definitely requires knowing who you're building those offers for and listing it in a way that hopefully you'll get found. But the other part that I think is a mirage is that if you list, they will come.
Mm,
Right? If you list, once they come, they will transact, right? But if you list, it's not easy to come because there is just not enough ways for the partners and those co-selling prospects or the customers to actually find you when there's tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands in the marketplaces themselves. And so that's where, um, from a proactive standpoint, if you don't take the time to proactively identify who those partners are and target them, whether it's within the marketplace, but also external to the marketplace, you're gonna wait, you're gonna be waiting and waiting when you could be accelerating, driving that revenue forward and driving the consumption forward. Is
yeah,
that
and it just makes a meaningful relationship, right?
right?
Like you don't have to design a strategy that's for 50,000 partners, right? You can actually get very precise about the partners that you have. They can be very developed for a customer scenario or a customer type or a customer. You could actually get to that kind of model of taking things to market, which from a marketing perspective, somebody who's a professional marketer, that's the dream. Is that this idea of sort of spamming a relationship and hoping somebody shows up. That you've got an interesting offer that's only based on price points or margin. Like those are the kinds of things that are just going important, but they're not the only levers of how to drive a sales strategy forward. Um, there's so much more about what's the word that somebody was that I was listening to a podcast. I think it was actually from Gabriella Schuster and Jay McBain, who were talking about the need for hyper specialization.
Mhm.
That you can actually get so much more um, gain out of taking the time to strategize about the customer you're actually trying to get to and the use case that you're trying to build to, and using data that's available in tools like in Partner Optimizer so
Yeah.
that you can actually sort of inquire and learn and get shape that hyper specialization for the best outcome. And you might find that a lot of your revenue opportunity sits in a handful of customers to start, and then you can really get into, well, who are the partnerships that we need to go with, so that we can really cultivate that and let that data really sort of inform the way that you invest together that you attract that customer together, rather than it be a, we have a partner program and it's got all these benefits, and you can earn these incentives, sort of the generic ways that we've done this. You can actually get much more prescriptive, and that's really the power of where all of the types of resource that Partner Optimizer provides can be applied.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, being able to understand all those different business attributes that make a partner tick, what is their digital DNA, so to speak, and business attributes that demonstrate to you that they would be a good partner, that they would be qualified to go to market with you. And, we just don't want anyone to waste time and money and budget on the wrong partners. It's in
Exactly,
this day and age,
exactly.
you don't have to do that anymore. But a lot of times in jumping and rushing to get a strategy done, like getting listed in one of the hyperscaler markets or multiple ones, if you don't think those things through up front, you're really going to be continuing to waste a lot of that, time and budget and resource and
Yes,
frustration,
yes,
because it's a lot of work. I can, I know how much work it requires, and it requires technical investment as well, not just, strategy sessions. It requires technical investment, marketing investment, sales investment. And if you're putting that towards the wrong partners or too broad without that, that specific North Star you're aiming for, good luck.
yeah. I also think that you sort of triggered another thought for me, which is a lot of times we'll hire salespeople that sort of have their own approach of how to do this, or maybe they have a collection of partnerships that they already have, and so they kind of work with the players that they know, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just it may not be like, there's power in being able to centralize and to have some cross learning among that, so you don't have just your salespeople sort of starting from their own orientation only. They
Mhm.
have this data insight that your organization can actually centralize and prescribe as a methodology for how you help tune your sales and your relationship approaches, and optimize the
Yeah.
relationships that you have, so that it doesn't only rely on the pure skill of the and charisma of the
And the
sales team.
salesperson.
It's more data informed, so it kind of actually helps them to kind of calibrate the way they're thinking about their sales practices too. So you give them, you really empower them with some real insights to go into those conversations with from the start.
Yep. Exactly, makes sense. And, historically, especially when it comes to channel and partnerships, we think that by hiring someone that comes with the relationships is going to be the key. And the reality is they may come with a relationship, but it may not be with the company that has the right qualifications to do this successfully.
Yeah, yeah.
And
So why not test it out and see, take those relationships, run them through a partner optimizer scenarios to see if those really do sort of sort out in a way that's going to advance your go to market. And then as you're going through the next phases of activating and optimizing your sales and delivery, now you can start even tuning that even further and evolving that, so that maybe there's some additional investment that your partnerships should go into together, or are there new relationships that should be forged because there are
Mhm.
new insights that are coming in, because this partner optimizer
Oh,
is
it's evolving all
constantly
the time.
refreshing and updating, so there's this whole sort of live stream of insights that are coming in about your partner relationships.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, so that was a great messages, great introduction. Hyperscaling meets specialization, right?
Yeah.
So if you want to hyperscale and drive success and drive consumption of your solution and your cloud infrastructure partner, that hyper specialization is critical.
Yes.
So I want to just ask you three questions that we ask all of our presenters, because our audience is interested in these, and it's helpful for us to know more about that from someone with your background and experience. So, what has been the number one impact that you've experienced from having access to partner intelligence?
Oh wow, this was such a big thing that we invested in when I was at Microsoft, and it enabled us to be very precise about who we were engaging with, um, what we invested in, when we did it, um, with what frequency. So it helped us to get out of doing generic things. And get finer about how we invited and engaged and invested in the partnerships that we had. I worked a lot in the scale space, so data was everything, in
Mhm.
how we had to operate. So to be able to deploy a tele engagement at the right time to be able to nurture that relationship forward and then really talk through customer opportunities and apply an investment that could make that deal move further down the funnel or that engagement to close was so important, was critical
Hmm.
for what we did. And at the time we were sitting on top of a $30 billion portfolio just in that space alone. So I would say that that allowed us to grow 30% year over year. That allowed us
Mhm.
to have a faster time to close. It allowed us to utilize our precious investments and our precious resources in smarter ways. So I know the power of this. And what it does require is that you have a complete um, revenue operated model that can take those insights and apply them directly into your marketing and sales. And those are the kinds of I would say investments that with Partner Optimizer, you don't have to sort of go through all of that sort of data churn. It actually exists within the platform. So you can actually get a lot smarter about where you apply your partnerships from the start. I think it's a tool set that every marketer, every growth officer, every revenue operations team needs to have.
Yeah, yeah. Obviously, I'd agree. And it's been cool lately to see how our customers are actually measuring not only the efficiencies of it, but also the specific uh, the specific revenue metrics that are coming from it.
Oh yeah.
The other thing is, how can our fellow partnership leaders make a case for budget to invest in partner intelligence?
Yeah, I think this comes with, what we talked about before of just understanding that this is a new channel, right? It's an emerging channel that's going to be a bigger part. You can make it a bigger part of your revenue mix. So I think that there's been some data shared through other you know uh, associations and professionals in this space that are showing that in renewal rates are increasing, time to deal closure is accelerating. There is a little bit of transaction fees that are a part of marketplace, playing in the marketplace space, but those are things that actually buy you back operational efficiency. You're going to see less need. I guess more processes built into the platforms themselves. So the need to have these bespoke legal agreements and
Hmm.
bespoke partnership agreements and having to rely on sort of this laborious vendor onboarding with your customers and all of that stuff starts to kind of go away because these are all now built into the platforms. So I would
Right.
say that, really sort of taking it from that view, that's why you have to go back to understanding your cloud go to market as a strategic lever of your business, of your revenue stream. I'm just going all the is really important, and bringing all that back into your CFO to show what this investment will be over time. And certainly the hyperscalers are going to be investing heavily in making sure um, that platform is giving all of the ways that a partner can buy back some of that operational efficiency. They're very highly invested and motivated to make that happen for you.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. We have in 2 weeks from now, Jay McBain's going to be joining me, and we're going
Hmm.
to be talking about a lot. And he's got some stats that he'll be able to share, which will also help people make the case for it from what's going on already. So I think that will also be helpful. So
Oh yeah,
collecting that
absolutely.
data.
I mean, I am definitely excited to hear on that session too.
Yeah. So one more question about you, which is, give us one more piece of advice on how to advance your career in partnerships.
I I'll do this, and this is probably just a great plug for Partner Optimizer. It's like it used to be that you could rely on a lot of messaging and sort of some of the fanfare of what it means to attract um, a customer to you. Um, I think the need now is that you have to invest in your partnerships. Like, you have to invest in other ways to create more flywheel effect, and that also means a whole engine of how that's going to operate. And if you're going to invest in all of those systems, if you're going to invest in all of that new enablement and readiness and ways to sort of activate a channel, you have to know that you're going, like, give yourself as much advantage as possible to know that you've got the right partnerships in the first place.
Hmm.
And then that goes back to that message we said earlier about hyper specialization. That is how you're going to be able to sort of own a space, own a domain, whether it's at the segment level or the geography level or the capability level. Like, just own the space and create the partnerships there so that you can sort of create that flywheel of success. We're gone are the days of sort of being generally capable. Like, knowing the customer,
Right.
knowing the partnerships with the customer is going to be key to your success as a partnership leader.
Yep. Great advice. Great advice. Well, so let me tell you a couple of things about what Partner Optimizer does. At least this is for the audience in case you're new to Partner Optimizer and just joining us because you know Karen. So Partner Optimizer is actually an ecosystem intelligence platform specifically all around data-driven profiling of partners, and it generates tons of partner insights and partner intelligence. And so the core things that we provide is data-driven partner discovery based upon your ideal partner profile or any other campaign you want to drive. You can profile and score your existing partners or your own partner prospect lists, or you can find new ones because our database has profiled hundreds of thousands of partners already. And so there's a reveal system with credits that you can uncover partners that match what you're looking for. We also can do partner data enrichment. So if you have a big partner database and you need to know additional things about them so that you can better categorize, classify, segment, or even cleanse your partner database, we can do that very quickly, very affordably. And you also can learn how to build a data-driven ideal partner profile using the platform to assess your best partners and see what they all have in common. Because sometimes you have a specific vision of what you think your ideal partner looks like, but when you look broader about who they really are as a company and what else is their competencies and expertise and certifications and where they really are focused on their own target customer, you'll learn a lot more about them and how you fit into your partner's world versus how you're going to make your partners fit into your world. You can track your partner's brand alignment. You can also track competitive propensity of your partners, whether they're aligned with you or your competitors and how much. And you can also use the data to build great content marketing as well as direct, specialized, hyper specialized messaging to and with your partners that you're partnering with in a co-sell marketplace. So for more information on that or for a demo, here's the QR code and you can scan it. Also on here is Karen Facio's LinkedIn QR code and mine if you need to reach out to either of us. And we'd love, we're responsive to anyone and everyone who's got good questions for us. And Karen, thank you again so much for being on the show with me. I think that we have one more slide showing what next week, in 2 weeks from now. So December 14th, yes, we have the one and only Jay McBain, the basically king of channel analysts, partnership analysts out there. There's no one that compares to him in this day and age. And I'm so excited to be bringing him on my show to be talking about the expectations of partner intelligence for 2024 and beyond. And that's Thursday, December 14th at 8 a.m. Pacific. And register on LinkedIn Live, and we'll be showing it live there, and you can come back for a recording. But in the meantime, Karen, I just love having you. Thank you for all of the mentorship and support and advice and guidance you've given me along the way and sharing your knowledge with the community. And talk to you soon. Everyone have
Thank
a
you.
great day. Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much.
much. Thank you.